Otherwise, we do see the client bans are almost finished. We see Wukong, Poppy, and Sona coming out from PECS. So that's what. Okay, so Wukong overall just actually we're seeing a lot of Wukong today in bans. I believe so far in all the games we've casted, we've seen a Wukong in every match, whether it's a ban or a pick. I am surprised because we used to say Wukong, he's kind of hit or miss. You either see him or you don't, depending on the week. But this week he's everywhere. So maybe he's back. Poppy, though, of course, aimed against Eulalia. Eulalia plays just a nasty Poppy. And Sona, once again, aimed against Mike. They don't want that support player getting a strong support champion, but Mike pulling out that Zyra once again. Ezreal was left open, so Infeed's going to go ahead and pick up Ezreal because the other bans coming out from BPB were Casted and Darius and Malphite. Nothing too shocking there, all just overall strong champions. So these are 10 bans. For those of you who are just joining us, I see there's a little bit of confusion. Yes, the tournament has decided to make it 10 bans, so there's 2 bans in chat for each team before the ban phase starts in client. This was just agreed upon because there didn't seem to be too much balance. You just couldn't ban out champions with only 6 total bans because you'd ban out either niche champions that you would choose directed bans and then they would have like Kassadin open or something, or you would ban out just generic bans and then everyone would get to pick their niche bans. So it kind of just became repetitive. A lot of people wanted a little bit more variety, a little bit. I personally want to say it started turning into just a little bit more less thinking, just click the champions you always click. But with this, we've seen crazy bans like ban out all 5 support champions against the Mike, or ban out. We see bans against certain teams that have made their names. For instance, we saw directed bans against point defense earlier. We see Teemo getting banned out against Zabers, and right now we see like Lulu, Sona, those things being banned out. It makes it a little bit more interesting, and we're seeing a lot more diversity in the champion selection through this. So we do have more picks that have gone down. Amumu and Brand were the next picks coming out from PECS. On the other side, and there we go. We do see the Riven on Talit PA, and we also see Irelia and Jaja. I'm not so sure I've seen Irelia in Dominion just yet. Out of the tournament games I've casted, of course I've seen Irelia being picked in any Dominion game I've played in. I'm not quite positive if in any of the matches I have casted for this tournament I've seen her. I may have a few times, but she hasn't really been that common. Of course, just overall a strong champion, but she does take a little bit time to get started. Of course, that's considering a standard build. There's a lot of diversity available, especially on Dominion, because you have that buff or the aura throughout the map. Everyone has extra mana regen, things like that. You get innate gold gain. Those things really make a huge difference, of course, in which champions become quote-unquote a little bit more viable or not as viable. Alright, so we're just waiting on the last picks. Actually, we are. Alright, so it's going to be Nunu and Udyr bot. And these are, if you weren't there for it, now, well, we might see them come out with some new things. Last time we saw Infeed go against Jaja bot with Nunu Udyr, they pretty much stayed until I believe they had like 6k gold, and then they went back, bot, and came back and just repeated it. Never had to focus there, so as a caster, it was bliss. You could just ignore the bot lane and just go back now and then when there's like an ace top, and you'd be like, okay, they're still farming. But we'll see if either of them have some tricks up their sleeves this time around. And Urgot was picked up by Confiteris, was not banned, and was not picked early either. They were in a rush to pick out these other champions that they really want to secure based on the directed bans, and that left Urgot open, allowing PECS to pick him up quite late. And then we have Kog'Maw being highlighted, most likely locked in here by BPB. So, yep, Infeed gonna go ahead and take that Nunu. Captain Booberry going to be on that Ezreal, and Hayfart going to be on that Brand. Brand, once again, not a champion you used to see that often. We've seen him now and then more recently, of course, with that recent change to his ultimate, or I guess most people would agree that it is a buff, that it prioritizes champions if you have your passive debuff on them. That's gonna be quite helpful if he wants to go into a team fight, which I would assume he's gonna go top because they have Urgot, who's a great bot lane champion. Meanwhile, on BPB, it's of course going to be. I know, actually, it's gonna be infeed bot. What am I talking about? Urgot. Now I'm confused. But I am most confident that it is going to be Nunu bot and Urgot top. Yes, Nunu is bot. I'm going to go ahead and say Nunu is bot. All right, I totally confused myself there, but Jaja's going to go ahead and face that Nunu being played by Infeed. The the matchup returns Udyr versus Nunu. We'll see if something different happens this time. So then it's going to be Zyra, Riven, Irelia, and then Kog'Maw up top for BPB. So Kog'Maw, of course, is going to be kind of the same role as Ezreal, sitting back with those ranged ADs. They're going to try to put out as much damage, kiting backwards, making sure they don't get just completely dogpiled upon. But both teams have a lot of ways to get to the enemy damage dealer. I mean, we have Irelia with Blade Surge. We have Zyra with the Snare. Riven with just Broken Blades jumping through the entire enemy team and then stunning all of them with a Key Burst. And then there's Urgot with the Hyperkinetic Position Reverser. We have a Mumu with Bandage Toss into a Curse of the Sad Mummy. This is looking dangerous for both carries. So, should be a fun game. We did just take the summoner blockers off as we are waiting in the delay now. These summoners are already in game, or hopefully they might still be loading, but nothing completely out of the ordinary. Infeed did take Ignite, and I believe last time he also took that Ignite. I mean, Nunu just really doesn't need anything else. He has excellent CC. He has a slow and an attack speed debuff. He has built-in sustain through Consume. He has somewhat of an escape through Blood Boil. I mean, and then he just wants Ignite for the extra damage if you duel. So that's a pretty good pickup. Otherwise, there's actually 3 exhausts on the rest of PECS, and then just 1 Garrison on Painkiller, who's going to be playing a Mumu. So they're looking to, I would have to assume, go for a little bit more kill and then take rather than siege. Having only 1 Garrison, that means they're really focusing on not needing it that much like everywhere else on the map. Mainly also because usually the bot laners like to take Garrison in case they get taken out in a duel and they need to rush back. But Nunu's like, I'm not going to ever get my tower taken away because I'm just going to counter push against this Udyr. We'll see how it happens. And then we do have 3 Garrisons on BPB and 2 exhausts. So that's fairly standard. Usually, I guess you would say you see 2 Garrisons more often, but it's really up to the team. It's up to the play style. It's a great skill regardless. So we have 15 seconds left as we go into the finals. This is going to be game 1. It is a best of 3. It's going to be between PECS and Blind Pick Banditos. Once again, this is Dominate Dominion number 18, powered by Cybersports Network, but hosted, of course, by DominateDominion.com. And you can go over to their website, DominateDominion.com, or you can go over to the Facebook or Twitter, as you see on the splash in between the matches. Of course, check out Cybersports Network, which is cyber-sports.net. I may have just given myself the corner bug, which shouldn't be too big of a problem. I should be able to fix it quickly. But I did just click away. There it is. So we're just going to go ahead and bring that up real quick so we can get this full screen. There we go. And then we'll switch over. Wow, it's been a while since I've done that to myself. But here are the teams on the top. We have on the blue team, PECS, or Pays Evelyn Child Support. It's going to be Infeed on Nunu, Painkiller on Amumu, Captain Booberry on Ezreal, Confetarius on Urgot, and Half-Hearted on Brand. On the bottom, for the purple team, we have Blind Pick Banditos, or BPB. They have Zemike on Zyra, Talif PA on Riven, Eulalia on Irelia, Jaja on Udyr, and a part cursed on Kog'Maw, the beautiful, beautiful Monarch Kog'Maw. Gonna be going into game 1. Also, before we begin, just once again gonna plug that announcement real quick. If you are planning to join Dominate Dominion number 19, it doesn't matter if you're new or if you've been around. Everyone needs to know check-in time is being pulled up to 30 minutes before tournament time. So that's 7:30 Eastern or 4:30 Eastern. It used to be only 15 minutes beforehand, but check-in now is required to be finished by 30 minutes before the tournament begins. So please remember that, so no one has to be disqualified, unfortunately, because we will love to have all of you back and newcomers all the time. This tournament has grown. Even in the short time I've been with them, we've just seen some awesome new people coming and staying and improving, and some of them actually becoming top teams, you would say. For instance, Cheese Enema just appeared out of nowhere and then started taking out these teams and vying for first place now and then. We are going to wait for the summoner platforms to be finished, so we do see it's going to be Udyr bot and most likely Nunu bot. Nunu has taken that Chalice of Harmony for that extra mana sustain. Otherwise, nothing too crazy here other than, of course, double Doran Shield on Jaja's Udyr, but that's not even too crazy if you know how Jaja plays, because that is exactly how Jaja plays Udyr. So let's go ahead and see what happens up here at the windmill. Of course, both teams are going to go pretty standard. Once again, no crazy strats here from level 1 or level 3 rather. Here on the Crystal Scar, a good Pillar of Flame is going to catch two people, Irelia and Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's going to try to put down that Void Ooze, and there's the plants from Zyra coming out right away. There's a snare actually putting on a ton of damage onto Half-Hearted because the plant was there afterwards. And there's the Keepers from Riven, but Riven gets caught by the Banish Toss over the wall, and Ezreal wanted to pick up the kill, not going to be able to finish it, but Irelia gets exhausted, stunned, and bursted down. Meanwhile, Confrontaris on Urgot will go down, but Kog'Maw will pay for that, I'm sure. The Banish Toss into Mystic Shot. Banish Toss is actually going to pick up the kill. Brand goes down. This is just trading back and forth, 1-for-1 trades. Finally, PECS picks up a double kill on Amumu to finish that out with two people alive. We do have Irelia back up though. Is she going to be able to disrupt the channel? She needs to disrupt. No, actually, Amumu is just going to jump right back in with the Banish Toss to make sure that Ezreal doesn't die for it, and they're going to pick off Irelia no problem. So it's still a 4v3 even if everyone shows up. Of course, Ezreal and Amumu are both quite low, but they're going to go ahead and finish that tower, and smartly so, Blind Pick Banditos will back off for the time being. So they're just going to back off, go ahead and start pushing out. Meanwhile, bot lane, here we go. Nothing too crazy happening. Infeed is a little bit low on health, but there we go. There's the Consume, and they're just ignoring each other and going for each other's minions. So nothing crazy there. Meanwhile, oh, the Mystic Shot will stop the Storm Shield channel on Riven. So Talithpia going to be a little bit sad about that. Parkhurst does get stopped by the Bandage Toss, and Kog'Maw now at half health. There's the Pillar of Flame across the wall by Brand, but Riven is going to try to go ahead. The Keepers will not connect, so they're going to back off for the time being. Irelia actually just goes in, gets the slow, but needs to back out. The Equilibrium Strike alone is not going to be enough to fight 2v1. And we do see BPB backing out. The True Shot Barrage hits two people as Ezreal retreats. And that's going to force BPB to really reconsider how they want to advance from here on out. We do see Urgot trying to defend top on his own, and he should be fine for the time being. Excuse me. BPV is simply trying to push up the lane, so they have a little bit of a minion advantage. They are still sitting quite low, so they want to have as many minions to make sure that the tower gets taken down as they're fighting, especially if they can't really afford to have that many people chanting. The Pillar of Flame connects onto Kog'Maw. He's taking a ton of damage, especially with a Storm Shield on Brand. Not going to be happy. Really, thankfully, he didn't get stunned, though. Meanwhile, Snare goes down by Zyra. Zyra's ultimate is going to catch both the Urgot, and oh, Urgot's channel will get broken by the knockup from Zyra's ultimate, and Rumo's actually going to get taken down by a Riven's Wind Slash, and Irelia actually picks up the kill onto Urgot earlier. Kog'Maw's so low, Irelia also so low. Irelia uses Blade Surge to get out of there, but will she be able to escape? Brand is going to give it the chase, just anything hits, and Irelia would have been dead. Meanwhile, here's a True Shot Barrage. No, it's going to barely miss Kog'Maw, and the Arcane Shift also not able to get into the brush. Both Irelia and Kog'Maw get out of there, no problem. However, the important part is PECS still holds on to this 3 cap. Of course, it's still fairly early in the game. The gap isn't too big, but they have been able to hold on to this, and that just plays a mental game that BPB is having to play passive, and even then, they just haven't really had the successes they want to see. They're pushing out the minion wave and then just giving the farm back to PECS. They're just trading minion waves at this point. So BPB really needs to make something happen here as a team, and this might be their chance as the rest of PECS are separated. They're separated 3-1. Ezreal is trying to come in from the side. If they can catch him, that might be good, but Ezreal's smartly just staying away. He's going to farm up as he sees that his team, if anything, is actually pushing out BPB. They're putting out good damage. Of course, Urgot's so annoying to deal with those Acid Hunters. Well, bot lane, Jaja starts to channel onto the tower. The minions have done some good work onto it. The towers are sitting quite low, and we see Lalia coming down, but Urgot had the same idea. They want to pressure this bot lane. Jaja not going to be in a good place. There's an Ice Blast from Nunu, and the lock-on happens from Urgot. There's the absolute zero. He's going to make sure that the damage goes down, just breaking the channel right away to make sure at least some damage happens. Urgot's going to go ahead and finish that with an Acid Hunter and a basic attack. Very, very well played from PECS. Meanwhile, Kog'Maw and Ezreal dueling it out, but both have been exhausted, and Ezreal actually gets snared by Zyra. Can Kog'Maw pick up the kill, or anybody? Yep, Riven's actually going to be the one to pick it up with that ultimate, and I'm not sure if she actually used Keepers to pick it up, as it does have a little bit of long range, well, not long range, but more than melee range AoE. Well, Urgot has found Riven, is putting out a lot of damage, and there's hyperkinetic position reversal. Really has shown up, but can Talithpia get alive? No. Will go down to Urgot. Meanwhile, Havehearted is taking a ton of damage, but Irelia has been exhausted. Still will pick up the kill, but will get cleaned up afterwards. Meanwhile, Zemike sitting very low. If she gets caught by anything, the Mystic Shot will pick up the kill for Ezreal, being played by Captain Booberry. And Captain Booberry going to go ahead and recapture the windmill for PECS, and they're going to get that objective buff. So that's going to be really good, especially in bot lane, as they have, or actually no, that they had that point. That's my apologies. It would have to be BPB who takes the windmill, and PECS would actually have to take the drill to get that buff. So they did not get the buff. They just simply reclaimed the windmill in order to get a 3 cap back in their favor. Bot lane is still a bit of a push fest, so we're going to go back up to top where the action will be here. And Painkiller, if Painkiller can land a bandage toss, it does land over the wall onto Lalia. There's a Pillar of Flame and just tons of damage going down. Moon actually picks up the kill. There's a True Shot Barrage, not going to hit Zemike, but the Curse of the Sad Mummy will stop the channel. Zemike going to go down immediately. Painkiller running quite low. Windslash picks up the kill, but Riven has been exhausted. Riven needs to back out until the exhaust wears off if they even want to think about going back in, but Urgot is here. If Urgot can get in range, they are in big trouble, so they are going to back off smartly. So BPB just doesn't have an answer to this right now. They haven't really been able to do much about the windmill. They got the neutralize, but they haven't got the cap. They're consistently losing out on Nexus points. They need to make a play happen, or at least change or shift the focus of the game to a different part of the map at this point. Well, windmill, we do have 3 people focusing down on it, but Urgot was in the side trying to get the kites down, trying to break the channels. Will that be enough? The hyperkinetic position reversal will get Urgot out of Zyra's ultimate range. Urgot will go down, but there's so much damage from the Pyroclasm. Gets a double kill, bouncing back and forth between Kog'Maw and Irelia. Very, very well placed ultimate coming out from Brand, and PECS once again pushes out BPB. What can the Blind Pick Banditos do at this point? I really think they may just need to consider kind of spreading the focus out, really distracting the enemy team and making sure they don't have to fight too much in a full-on 4v4. They just haven't been able to win at this point. We do see Ezreal trying to push down on the drill. Riven is there next to Zyra though, so Ezreal does need to watch out. Meanwhile, bot lane, we're just keeping our focus here. Not much else is happening throughout the map. And Udyr and Nunu this is exactly what happened last time, except last time Nunu actually had a huge advantage in pushing power, but this time they're quite heavily focused on the quarry. Lalia barely dodging that bandage toss as soon as she picks up that storm shield. She's gonna back off there. BPB trying to pinch in. No, they're going to come back around the houses and regroup. They want to fight as a full force, and Ezreal is caught alone. Elalia jumps in. If they can pick out Ezreal as soon as possible, but the exhaust is there. And really not able to do much damage. Actually takes a lot of damage from the tower, and also Ezreal. Talpia is going to go down. No, going to live with the Hexdrinker shield. Urgot actually gets taken down first, but Painkiller is going to take down Irelia, and Kongwa's going to get bursted down. Zemike at full health, but not able to do too much here. Doesn't have that much damage, only has an Amto and a Blasting Wand. Will they continue chasing? No, Brand's here. The stun will not land, but the Pillar of Flame will. And Captain Blueberry wants to keep chasing, but Captain Blueberry is out of mana, so they need to break off the chase. Once again, though, the important part is PECS has held off the assault yet another time. They've just been ticking away at BPB's Nexus point by point. They now have a 200-point lead, and not that much has happened in the game. They're just trading kills up at the windmill, and that's really what it comes down to. We may see another skirmish here in the middle. The Mystic Shot will not hit, and neither team has... Oh, actually, we do have a Hextech Sweeper on Brand, but Brand is not there, so PECS not able to check this brush. We do see Kongwa trying to check it with his artillery on his ultimate, and there's the Void Ooze onto Amumu, but they don't want to do too much to try to take down Amumu, because if they waste all of their abilities, he won't be able to fight the rest of the fight. Amumu has been caught by the snare, and there's a Zyra ultimate. They actually may be able to take down Amumu first, but it really is going to go down right afterwards, and so how will this fight turn out after? Brand is at half health, Urgot's being chased on, he's been exhausted, and BPB, this may be their chance, but there is an excellent Pyroclasm. It's not enough though. Urgot is still alive. How is he still alive? The shield coming out to save Riven with the slip. No, Riven will go down to the dot from Urgot, and we see Kongwa is in a little bit of danger. Urgot's gonna come ahead and pick off that kill, no problem, with just one extra Acid Hunter after the Noxian Corrosive Charge. Meanwhile, Zyra actually getting chased by Urgot just all the way through, but will stop the chase. Meanwhile, bot lane, it's still the same thing, but now Nunu has pushed out. And now we do see BPB. They actually have a chance to try to get a channel onto this tower, but Brand has now shown up, and Urgot has just been proven to be so tanky and has been defending quite well. But there's the plants on the minion. They do get the neutralized. Is this BPB's chance? Amumu has shown up with a Storm Shield. Irelia comes out but is stunned. The Mystic Shot will not hit, but there's the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Irelia takes down Urgot, but Irelia is going to go down soon after. Riven not sitting healthy, and Bandage Shot's going to nuke down that poor Zyra. Kog'Maw is alone, doesn't have any mana, but the basic attacks will hurt. But here comes Ezreal and Brand. Brand gets the stun. They're going to take down this Kog'Maw. The True Shot Barrage will hit, and they will pick him off. I don't think even the passive will be enough to take down Brand, and actually Brand walks away, and Kog'Maw, too focused on trying to pick up the kill, is not able to stop the channel on Captain Blueberry, allowing Ezreal to consistently channel onto this windmill. Zyra has now picked up that Storm Shield, putting down the siege to make sure they have vision. They're trying to just speed it up right up to the windmill. Once again, Ezreal is alone across the wall, but the rest of PECS is coming up soon after, and BPB needs to see this through the siege. They can't stay and fight this. If Urgot gets another good ult for this fight, that might as well be game for BPB. Irelia now going to get caught. There's the Hyperkinetic Position Reverser. Not necessarily the best use for that ultimate, but there's an excellent Pyroclasm hitting down all three people. And bursting down Irelia right away. Kongwa does pick up the kill into Brand, but 2 kills go right away for PECS. As a matter of fact, Amumu goes down, but the True Shot Barrage does hit. A triple kill for Kog'Maw, but Ezreal's going to stop that spree. Can Ezreal stop the advancement of Zyra on his own? Zyra has so much pushing power. If another minion wave comes, Zyra may be able to get the neutralize here. Amumu is on his way. Captain Blueberry just needs to hold on for a little bit longer. Doesn't have much health or mana though, so he can't play too aggressively. Just needs to make sure that Amumu gets there. Amumu is in the area, and he's actually going to land the Managed Toss across the wall and scare Zemike away. So we do see BPB just taking their time to kind of reconsider their options. they've just consistently been trying to time their assault up top, and it hasn't been working out that well. They are in sort of a desperate situation right now. 436 to 126. They're severely behind, and here we go. We do see BPB. All of them are heading towards bottom. They're hitting the speed shrine. Where are they going to go? Are they going to try to pinch and make a team fight happen in the jungle, or are they going to go bot? No, they are going to start going straight up, but Irelia is too far ahead of her team. Gets caught by the rest of PECS, and Amumu is there. The curse of the sad mummy catches 3 people, but Kog'Maw is across the wall. Can Kog'Maw do enough damage? No, Amumu finds him, gets the bandage toss down. Urgot will go down, but Ezreal also putting out some free damage. They're going to chase down Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's going to be a free kill, and Zyra can't do anything here. Unfortunately for BPB, that didn't work out as they imagined. Really a little bit too far ahead, gets picked off, and PECS is able to do the cleanup. Brand's going to happily go ahead and go clean up top, push it out, and farm it. Zyra does eventually get taken down by Amumu. Meanwhile, Udyr here has a nice little surprise. Ezreal has come to help his friend Nunu. Well, bot lane, we do see Nunu saying he wants items. That's exactly what happened last time they met up. They weren't even able to buy items because they were both so good at pushing and sustaining. They're still dueling it out, not much happening there. Meanwhile, Brand's being pressured in, but the rest of PECS are coming up, and Brand should be able to last enough, especially with that exhaust. And there's a ton of damage being done onto this Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw goes down instantly, and there's the Pyroclasm afterwards. Takes down Riven, or helps take, actually, it will take down Riven. That's going to bounce off onto Irelia, I believe. Meanwhile, Ezreal's going to be able to take out Irelia with that Storm Shield. Just PECS is playing so well at this tower. And they have been able to defend it time and time again. They might be able to just finish the game right here, right now. BPB doesn't seem to really have any other answer. And I mean, at this point, they need to make a desperation move when everyone gets back up. They don't have the time for anything else. And they need to just either go for a different tower or make one last stand at the windmill. We are going to see Irelia going for that Storm Shield, and Brand's not going to stop it. Brand was a little distracted by Zyra and Kog'Maw, but that may have been good for them because Zyra gets instantly bursted down. Amumu is putting out some good damage onto Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's going to get taken down with a double kill for Amumu. Amumu now fighting against this Riven. Ezreal has shown up. Riven will go down in the hands of Brand. Meanwhile, Irelia trying to take down Ezreal, but exhausted, and Amumu is also there crying tears all over the place. Takes out Irelia. A 4-for-1 trade in favor of PECS. PECS is dominating this game. And there's only, I mean, I guess BPB has one last shot. They have 24 seconds. Well, as a matter of fact, they really only have about 20 seconds to try to stop the clock and retake an advantage. But even then, they have so much to catch up on. It would have to be one ridiculous type of capture and siege, and I don't think that's going to happen. Irelia gets caught once again. Irelia out of position. Urgot tries to get the position for her. It's not going to work out, but Irelia actually jumps in with the Blade Surge to try to dish out some more damage before getting taken down. Riven just gets instantly melted. Urgot is still alive this time, and they just aren't able to take out anyone from PECS. BPB not able to make the kills happen. PECS is going to take this game 1 in a commanding fashion, 430-0 against Blind Pick Banditos.